Greetings to all. This video, we are Axosu Àgèlògbàgàn, the paramount monarch of the Ganlodo Maroon Monarchy. That is GANLODO Kingdom.com. That's the website. Our publications are at Quilombo Restoration and Healing website, and that is restorationhealing.com. Restorationhealing.com. And we were informed recently that we are from Mobile, Alabama. So this video is specific to that area and people from that area and people that have interest in the history of Mobile, African history in Mobile, well, history of Mobile in general. So we were informed that they supposedly found the Clotilda again, the wreckage of the Clotilda, right? So for y'all that don't know, the Clotilda was the last captive ship to bring captive Africans to the Americas, right? And it landed in Mobile. In fact, Magazine Point Plateau area. And so those descendants, many of those descendants, ended up settling there after the Civil War. Well, yeah, after the Civil War was over, and established what is called Africa Town, right? And it got its name from outsiders. They called it Africa Town because people were living there for the longest, speaking African languages, eating African foods, African rituals, involved in their African culture, and it's a debate about who was the last descendant that passed away. For years it was said Cudjo Lewis or Kazula was the oldest, the last survivor, and he passed in 1935. Then now the Yovo is the non-African, in this particular case white people, in the Aja language. Aja being the culture that many of those captives on the Clotilda were part of and came from, southern Benin. So now they're saying there was a woman that died in 1937 that was the oldest descendant, right? The oldest from that ship. But this video isn't about that. It's about the fact that they're saying now that they have found the ship wreckage. They said this some years ago, and it turned out to be what we consider a hoax, right? False information, whatever you want to call it, right? We are 1,000% sure that it's 1,000% false this time also. First of all, they burnt that ship. When the ship came in, they got chased by a man of war. For those that don't know what a man of war is, those were the British ships, mainly manned by the British, who patrolled the Atlantic Ocean to make sure that illegal slave trading, as they called it, wasn't happening. Now, of course, it's an abomination, period. But after 1808, it was illegal to import Africans from Africa. It wasn't because of no benevolence or none of that. It was because they felt that this country would become African. That was one of the main reasons. And if they had enough Nat Turners, they would be overthrown. So they had to stop the import. But the domestic captive trade continued. Selling from Mississippi to Texas, Georgia to New York to Baltimore. Yes, New York had captive Africans. Everybody wanted to act like everything happened in the South. No, it was a lot of activity in New York. That's where the most famous African burial ground is. How you think they got that? So famous African burial ground in America. Uh, so the domestic trade continued. So the Clotilda was an illegal ship. So they were chased by the man of war. I think it was just one man of war. And so the captain, William Foster, he had to, he was trying to figure out what to do. So they kind of shipwrecked in Magazine Point. So what they did, they took all the Africans off and tried to burn the ship all the way up to, get rid of the evidence, so to speak, whatever was left. The ship in particular being the main evidence. They were put on a mock trial that wasn't about nothing and found not guilty. Or one or two of them, the Mir brothers, may have been found guilty. No. Yeah, because it was financed by the Mir brothers, and the Mir family still to this day is a very rich family in Mobile, Alabama. Go figure. So they were put on a mock trial and found guilty and given a fine, when actually the minimum sentence for that was prison time. Of course they didn't. And then they didn't pay the fine either. So, if you believe that these people are telling the truth, that they have found the Clotilda, don't do it. Don't do it. There's so many factors that say otherwise, that this ship has not been found, and it will never be found. First of all, once again, it was almost totally burnt to the ground. That's the main thing. But you have to ask yourself, and this is where we're really going with this, why are the Yovo, the non-African whites, why are they so concerned about finding the Clotilda? Why are they so concerned about the descendants of the Clotilda? Why is CNN writing an article about this? And sad to say, why do it seem that white people are more concerned about the Clotilda and its history, interviewing its descendants and whatnot, than African people are in Mobile? We hardly hear anybody from Mobile want to talk about the Clotilda. We've been studying the Clotilda since about 1995 or 6. You see, we went over there to the Roper Plantation. It's called Oakley House, right there in Maysville, right? And they have the plantation house. They have the so-called slave quarters, as they call them, in the back. But next to the plantation house to the left, there's a museum / library, mainly a library. That's where we would go and study. Interestingly enough, the old white women in there saw our interest, our meaning me, interest in studying the Clotilda, gave us what we consider rare documentations. Let us take them home, with the promise of bringing them back, because this was an archival type of library. It wasn't. You're not supposed to check anything. You're supposed to study everything right there. But it got to the point where they were letting me take stuff home, because they knew I was a real researcher. I was serious about this, and I would bring it back. So that was a business transaction, if you will, so to speak. The interest of African people in Mobile about their own history and culture needs to go beyond Mardi Gras. And that's really not your culture. But we said Mardi Gras because that's a big thing in Mobile. Not saying there's something wrong with going to a parade and having fun, but the interests of African people in Mobile need to really go beyond Mardi Gras and cabarets. I'm just gonna say that. So, but this should be a big interest to y'all. Don't fall for that. These people have not found the Clotilda; they never will. Be careful of the history that they give you about it. A lot of the history that we know about it came from Levi Lewis. Levi Lewis is a descendant of Cudjo Lewis. And he gave a lot of oral history that is not written in any of these books. None of these people talked to Levi Lewis that wrote these books on the Clotilda or Cudjo Lewis. People that wrote on Cudjo Lewis, we don't recall any of them quoting Levi Lewis. Levi Lewis is now passed to the realm of the ancestors. So our real history oftentimes is not in these books written by these white folks. That's one reason we can safely encourage people to go and travel to Benin. We've been to Benin several times. Benin Republic, not Benin City, that's in Nigeria, but Benin Republic, the country. Because you're going to get some oral history that's going to actually make more sense of your existence here. And this is not in books. You won't get this. So we just want to speak on that. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. They have not found the Clotilda. They never will. And I will tell their best scholars that. In fact, here's what we do. Because it's been suggested by a couple of my friends from Mobile that I come to Mobile and teach the people, teach the masses about their real history and about our history in general. And I always tell them I don't see much interest, but I am enthused when I see them being interested. But I issue right now an open challenge, open debate for whatever white scholar y'all got down there in Mobile. I issue an open challenge for a debate. Live time debate. Not no email and back and forth. Live time debate. Spring Hill College, University of Alabama, Mobile College. Is it the University of Mobile? If they had Bishop State, because I'm pretty sure they got a bunch of white ones over there now, claiming they're teaching history and whatnot. I issued them a challenge to totally dismantle their whole program, what they're teaching about the history of African people in Mobile, and in particular the Clotilda. That's a dead serious, straight up challenge to any of them. If you're black and if you're on their side, I issue you a challenge. It's not going to be fair for you or for the white people, but it needs to happen. Live time open debate. His Majesty Axosu Àgèlògbàgàn versus the whole faculty of history faculty of Spring Hill College. And you're going to see my friends from Mobile that are watching this. You're going to see that it's a serious thing on this end when it comes to culture and history. Because see, I can speak on the culture of those people. Nobody really talks about the culture of the people that came off the Clotilda. I can speak firsthand on the culture. So I issue that open challenge to any white person that's writing on the Clotilda, putting out this misinformation, and any Negro that is aiding and abetting them. Our email is ekaabokilombo@gmail.com. That's ekaabokilombo@gmail.com. Odigba. As soon better.